thank you for clicking on today's video. Today we're going to be talking about multivariable thinking. So we've been dealing with two quantitative variables and looking at their relationship. Now we're going to start thinking about what happens if you don't really see a relationship. What if there's something else impacting that relationship? Like maybe you see height and weight and you think, if I added in a component or a third variable, making it a multivariable situation, maybe gender, I would see a different relationship. And that can be seen for a variety of reasons. Maybe you're looking at the height and weight of birds and you're trying to figure out if male birds are heavier and weigh more than female birds. Well, when you look at the pattern, it looks like a blob, but once you add sex in, then you're able to actually see something different. So that's the reason for doing it. It also tells you a lot of information. The more variables you have, the more opportunity you have to see some pattern or to help you make some decisions that you wouldn't have been able to make if you only were looking at two variables. So for example, here you can see that I am looking at income. This is on Gapminder, which is very cool. If you haven't seen it, you should Google it or look it up. Does a lot of different things besides life expectancy. So you have income and life expectancy for a country. You can see that the points are named by the country that they are, but then there's, so that's the third variable, the country. The fourth variable is the size of the country. So you can see the size of the point is bigger depending on how big the country is. And then the fifth variable that's actually included in there is the region that that country comes from. That is very informative. This graph, even though it has 5 different variables on it, you're able to get some information about the countries and the life expectancy, and you can see the relationship between the income of the country as well as the life expectancy. So the reason that we would add in extra variables is to get more information. Sometimes that information doesn't help, like adding in sometimes sex or adding in year or religion or your political affiliation isn't going to change the look of the graph, but then you know. So adding it in helps us to sometimes see a different pattern than we had if we just had the two variables we were comparing. And sometimes it just confirms that maybe sex has no impact or religious affiliation has no impact or, you know, your income level has no impact. So multivariable, and this graph is super cool. Check out Gapminder. See you in future videos.